Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome to Bitcoin Daily, 9 a.m. Central European Time on the dollar. We do the show every day, Monday to Friday, because we gotta know what's happening in Bitcoin, altcoins, and everything else. Of course, guys, today is a day of the start of the new week. Today is the Monday, so of course we got a weekly close on our charts. We're gonna look at that. We're also gonna look at what needs to happen in the next 3 days. That's the monthly close. We're gonna talk a little bit about, you know, this breakout that we just had out of the channel towards downside, or a falling wedge, called whatever you want to call it. I think it's both things at the same time, you know, and you know how this could actually, you know, go wrong if it does go wrong, and what needs to happen, you know, to remain bullish. There is one really actually quite bad sign on the chart right now when you're looking just like technicals, and it's not so obvious on the Bitcoin chart, but it's a lot more obvious on Ethereum chart, so we're gonna look at that as well. We're not gonna look at you know, stock market, the DXY. I mean, we can't, because I haven't looked at it, you know, up here hitting something in no, we're not gonna talk about today. We're not gonna talk too much about stock market and DXY today, but we're gonna look at Bitcoin, you know, these big time frames, weekly, monthly, and what's happening, you know, this danger signal that might actually, you know, play out eventually. Now, how's everybody doing in chat? Santa Plan, what's up, man? How you doing, man? Just a second, I got a message from somebody up here. Let's see up here. Yeah, not so much. There we go. The Center Plan, what's up? Roshten Army, let's go. Dr. Karlov, good afternoon, good afternoon. Dutch Ring Racing, how you doing, man? Jurgen, what's up? Linda, good afternoon from the UK. Christo, howdy friends, let's pump now. Yeah, let's pump. Jurgen, Cracker, we gotta know. Crackers, bears in confusion. Yeah, they're in disbelief, confusion, they don't know what's happening. But didn't you guys notice, like, every single time we fall down like 1%, you know, everybody becomes super bearish. I told you so, and then we pump 1% and everybody's like, I told you so, you know, everybody's like, right now, nobody knows what's, you know, nobody's winning. Right now we are having a match between the Bulls and the Bears, and nobody is quite sure, you know, who is winning right now. So, you know, every single move, you know, everybody's screaming, yeah, we were right. So, you know, how this is gonna play out, we gotta see. XR Pillaging, good morning, how you doing, man? Didn't I see Linda? Yeah, Linda is in the chat. That's nice. Okay, we got a Linda in the chat, and Dr. Karlov. So, you know, we can continue with the analysis and what's actually happening. So where are we gonna start up here? We can go start with this chart up here on the weekly, this monthly. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Let's talk about the weekly chart a little bit up here, and we don't have actually right now. We have technically a rejection of the you know, 250 moving average up here, as you can see up here, because this candle up here closed. This is technically a rejection down here right now. And the rejection doesn't have to be that bad. Like, you can just, you know, run right through that towards the upside. But this looks more like, you know, it might, you know, pull back a little bit before it actually goes. So, you know, there is a trading range up here right now. Down here, this is a very important level of support for two reasons. Number one, this is a previous low down here that's been created, and right now we got also 10 moving average. So this level down here, we do not under any circumstance want to break on the weekly time frame. 21,774, this is a very strong support level right now. You break that, you create what's called a lower low, but that means we gotta close below that level. So we gotta if we create some kind of lower low down here, that's actually bad. You know, hopium is that there will be, you know, bullish divergence down here, but you know, we're gonna see that, you know, when we get to that point, right? So if this does fall down, there will be no bullish divergence, because this is so almost at the same level up here. So if you do fall down here, there will be no bullish divergence. You know, it will look something like this. If that does happen, it does look actually quite crappy, because you are creating a lower low, you are creating some kind of you know, right now bad trend over here. Although we have a higher low up here on the chart, you get a lower low down here. That might be some kind of expanding you know, expanding musical instrument going on, but you don't want to break these bearish support levels on the downside. So this level down here at 21,779 is very important. So we are still looking at the 200 moving average here at 25.2. But more importantly, on the weekly time frame, it's not getting above 25.2, it's just getting above the 50. So if we can get above the 50, I'll be happy. So right now, the trading range should be below between 24K and 21.8, and I think this range, you know, the price needs to break out somewhere out of these two levels, right? 50 moving average and the 21.8. So this is what we are looking for right now for this candle up here, either a move up here or move down there. But if it just stays in the range up here, you know, it's kind of undecisive, and these are the worst kind of, you know, times to trade and look at the chart, because consolidation patterns can play out to both sides, and often these, you know, sideways consolidation patterns are even worse, because it's really hard to figure out, you know, whether this is going to break towards upside and downside. You gotta look at a whole bunch of other stuff and then, you know, make your opinion, and then it's not a strong signal as, you know, some other patterns that can actually occur. So that's what I'm looking for. Now we have a monthly close in today's 27th, so tomorrow night we have a monthly close. Best case scenario, I said this before, best case scenario is closing above the 50 moving average up here. This is the 50 moving average on the monthly time frame. Best case scenario right now is closing above this 50 moving average at 23.6. So right now we can see that we have a little bit of room to go towards upside, but this level up here, this monthly level, 23.6, very important level. And hopefully, you know, we can close above that, you know, in the next 2 days. I also said before that I do like that we tapped the 10 moving average. This actually looks bullish to me, because I've seen these kind of, you know, price patterns, you know, play out a lot before. You go below certain moving average, you tap that moving average, and then you go to the other side. Now that's what I'm looking for right now. I'm looking to close at least the next 2 days, today, tomorrow, after Tuesday, above 23.6. If that's gonna happen, that's a big case. So right now, you know that, you know, weekly didn't do actually much. We have actually rejection of the 50-200 moving average. We got some kind of range where we need to, you know, trade, gonna trade between. We have some kind of, you know, important level that we need to close about in 2 days. So it's a little bit sketchy. It's a little bit sketchy, these big time frames, because we don't have a, you know, we didn't get any kind of, you know, clear-cut sign that something's gonna happen right now. So, you know, still, you know, range bound, still, you know, going a little bit up, a little bit down. And like we said in the start, every single move towards downside, bears are like, I told you so, and every single move towards upside, you know, bulls are, I told you so. So, you know, nobody actually knows what's gonna happen. Now there are some danger signals on the small time frame, so let's talk about that up here. Let's go to another chart up here. Yeah, so as you can see up here, I was trying to figure out, you know, why are we getting some kind of support on downside and upside, and I think this, you know, pretty decent triangle that's being created up here. So we got this kind of support levels up here that's right now giving us resistance, and if you use the support from over here and you know, resistance from over here, we get this nice support over here, which might actually, you know, work out. So we got some kind of triangle going on, give or take. This might be a better triangle or not over here. So I'm definitely seeing some kind of sideways movement up. You know, this might actually go all the way, you know, today is, you know, on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like, you know, for next, you know, day or two, we can just be range bounding up here, technically there sorry about that, we can just be range bound a little bit technically up here. We did have a nice bounce up here from the bottom, and there is a reason for that, and right now we just range bounding. Let me show you the channel that we actually bounced off of up here. So this is the channel up here. Let's remove this line up here. So you see that the channel, you know, we had a downtrending channel. We got above the channel up here, and everything looks nice and dandy, but we are not, you know, just bouncing towards upside right now. And this move can definitely go all the way down to these previous low levels over here, which I think they are very probable to happen, guys. This is a very high probability. I'm gonna explain to you why. To go down to the bottom of this channel again, tap it, and then go towards upside. The big scary moment is gonna come if we, you know, at one point get back inside the channel, because you don't want to get back inside the channels, right? Because you just broke the channel. You want to do something else than going back inside the channel. You go back inside the channel, there is a problem. Not inside the channel, you know, everything is nice. So you can see up here, this is a very, it's not so, I mean, technically it's a very steep channel, so, you know, you can continue dumping down this, you know, speed up here, but you can't, the fear that we are having up here is that this is gonna break on the downside, because if this breaks on downside, you are having major moves towards downside. So right now we don't have any kind of major moves incoming, so I'm not fearing that, you know, for some reason we're just gonna drop down to, you know, something like, you know, 20k or something like that. If that happens, we get a huge you know, support level down here on the channel, and then once we are inside channel, then we can talk about, you know, dropping down big time or something like that. But right now there is no fear of that. The worst case scenario right now is that we go back, dump down here and go back inside the channel, and after that we'll talk about, you know, a worst case scenarios, but right now, you know, this move towards downside up here is very probable. Why is it very probable? Because if you look down here at this bottom over here, we went into the bottom, we tapped it for a second time up here and went up, right? So oftentimes there has been created some kind of liquidity pool up here, right, below these lows up here. So, you know, tapping going down into this liquidity pool before going up here could be actually a move that can actually happen. Oftentimes these have you know, 3 touches or something like that, or wicks on the downside up here. Sometimes they have even, you know, 4 touches up here, 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4 touches before it goes towards upside. It can play out a little bit differently, but I do see that this move up here can actually happen. And it's not just because of, you know, the 3 touches up here. Let me show you something else, and that's like we said on Ethereum chart up here. Let's go to Ethereum chart. Let's go to the daily time frame, and this is actually the bad part of the video over here. You got this very nice trend line up here towards upside. What you're gonna see here, we had a pulse move towards upside, we had a distribution phase up here, we dumped down, we, you know, picked it back up, we failed to get it back above, you know, whether this was a channel or something, like we failed to get back up, you know, continue the move towards upside. We went down for the second time. This is the first time, this is second time. The second time failure is not actually quite good one. So right now we are having this you know, trend line over here that we need to break back above, because you can see up here this you know, we want to be in this channel towards upside up here. We don't want to be in this kind of channel towards the downside. And if this starts breaking the downside, which is very, very likely, because, you know, we got rejection right back up there right now. Right now we went below that, and right now we're getting into this area up here. I don't know, you know, maybe the line is not as good right now, but the area is important up here. So we're getting into the area and we're looking for a rejection over here, because this already had a big dump first time. This is the second time we are losing the trend over here. So the move towards downside is very, very likely. And there is the trend line up here that's important right now. And this looks like to me like, you know, although we broke towards upside, like some kind of you know, rising wedge towards upside. But if you see this move down here, it doesn't matter whether it's from over here or up here, or even if it breaks up and goes back down here. If it goes back below this line, I think we might have having a bigger move towards downside eventually after that. But right now, this is actually what making me a little bit worried that we can actually right now fall down. So we had a you know, failure up here to continue the trend up here. Once we got above back in the trend, and then this is a second failure. So right now, if this second failure fails to get back above the resistance line like it did over here, I'm looking for a move down below the support levels, and then a little bit dumpy over here. So we're gonna see if that actually happens or not. So I'm definitely looking to hold this trend up here right now towards the upside, and hopefully, you know, there is bullishness, you know, and we you know, continue towards the upside. So, you know, we need to either break towards the upside or downside. But this is on Ethereum. On Bitcoin doesn't look, you know, exactly like that. It looks like a little bit like that, but not exactly like that. So you can draw a line, something over here, give or take. It's not exactly the same, you know, line. Maybe it's a little bit more down up here, maybe it's a little bit more up here. Doesn't matter, but it's kind of the same thing. But you know, you don't see it as clearly as you see it on Ethereum, right? We went into, and over here you can actually have 2 channels or something like that over here. I think something like this. There might be. Where is it? Where is the line? There might be some kind of, you know, secondary channel up here that we are up. This might be some kind of secondary room up here. So we went up here, we failed that, right back up again. We are right now down. So if you start falling, you know, getting rejected by this line up here towards the downside, you know, that might be actually a danger signal. And this is a first failure. This, you know, right now could be secondary failure if we go back down. So we are getting very, very close to this important resistance where we need to get above. Why do we need to get above? Because up here there's a channel, of course. Some kind of channel as well up here, as you can see. So we have been trending up here, but we failed that. So we need to get back in the channel. That's the important part, right? So you don't want to, you know, keep on losing the supports towards the downside over here, you know, falling towards the downside up here. And you know, at one point you need to start breaking resistances to show bullishness. And right now we are at that level where we are very, very close that we need to show bullishness up here towards the upside up here. But whether we're gonna do that or not, I don't know. I'm a little bit unsure, you know, a little bit skeptical about, you know, the move towards the upside, but I'm not fearful just yet, because important levels haven't been broken towards the downside. So we can relax, we can enjoy the day, I think. there is no big moves to be happening right now, I think. So no big, you know, support levels that are being broken, no, you know, falling channels that are being broken towards the downside, no dumps. So, you know, the weather is nice, it's sunny, it's shining, so there is that. You know, it might be nice trading day, it might be nice trading, so we're gonna see if we can catch some kind of trades later. The altcoins are actually dumping a little bit towards the downside, but you know, there's that. Bitcoin's down 0.6%. Yo, hold here a profit target 26. If you don't go, we go down to 0 or possibly on a minus scale. Larry, good afternoon. Jürgen, buy the dip. Yeah, buy the dip. When 50k? Next year, man, next year. 24, 25. Late next year, maybe. Okay, guys, we said we won't look at the DXY, but DXY is broken, it's rising wedge towards the upside. I'm still having some kind of targets towards the upside. The stock market up here on the daily time frame is hitting right now support levels. This is actually not hitting support. It needs to go a little bit more down for support level, but you can say that there is some kind of support level up here at, you know, these lows down here that we are actually breaking. And Nasdaq up here right now, it still has a little bit more room towards support levels, but there might be some kind of support level just over here. So we might, you know, we have been going through a small dip in the stock market right now, and these dips have been something like, you know, 5% dips on the stock market. So maybe, just maybe, stock market is ready for some kind of move towards the upside, which might be nice, because the most important thing in the next 2 days, guys, the very most important thing in the next 2 days is this level up here. This is the monthly time frame, of course. This is the monthly time frame, and this level up here, you know, the 23,650, something like that, give or take. Next month is gonna be a little bit higher, so I think we need to, you know, push a little bit higher than, you know, open above the 50 moving average, because, you know, the moving average went from, you know, 23.2 to 23.6, so almost 5 points up, so 23.6. So 24.1. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to, you know, go a little bit higher than that. Maybe above, you know, maybe even above the 50 moving, you know, above 24 up here to open above the 50 moving average. So the next 2 days is gonna be interesting how much we can actually pick up. And 24k level up here. Let's go to the 4-hourly time frame. The 24k level up here is all the way up there. So if you can do this move up here above 24k up over here in the next 2 days, I mean, we're gonna be theoretically very bullish up here. We're gonna be very bullish. Number one, we are above the moving average on the 4-hourly time frame. We came up from this dip towards downside. We back in the channel. We are above the 50 moving average. So many things can actually be so beautiful in just 2 days, guys. In just 2 days, if and only if we can manage to get above 24k. Now, are we that lucky? That's a big question. Patience is virtue. Because reasons, always because reasons. Guys, thank you for stopping by. I don't have much more to say about, you know, Bitcoin price update right now, but, you know, small moves up, small downs. Down here it might actually come, you know, be a little bit dumpy over here. It might be some kind of fear dump up here, you know, to get back to these lows down here and, you know, try to get back up here again, because we just said this might have a triple dip up here. So there is that. Again, have a nice day, guys. I'm gonna see you again tomorrow, same time, same place. Tomorrow is Tuesday, so, you know, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Arrivederci, guys. Arrivederci.